One project that I'm always watching is the OAN, or the Open Application Network. And there's been some recent news that came out about an open app that was built on top of the OAN that I wanted to kind of bring up. It's called Velocia, and I wanted to kind of highlight it. And let's get into it. In order to understand what Velocia is doing on this platform, you kind of have to know what the OAN is. The OAN is the Open Application Network, formerly known as AION, and now AION is just referring to the digital asset used to secure and access the OAN. So it's the digital asset of the OAN is what AION now refers to. AION is still mineable and everything. In fact, I'm currently mining it right now using Hashrate OS and NVIDIA rig here. Still mining away at AION. I think I started maybe a couple days ago again with AION on this particular rig. So that's cool. As far as the content today, though, the OAN is dedicated to solving the inherent problems in platform economies, such as data transferability and portability between these different platforms. And they were actually, here highlighted as a top 15 blockchain leader. This is by Flipside Crypto a couple days ago or a few days ago. And I don't know if these are like in order of, importance or the actual order, but they're down here at number 13. The Open Application Network gives a little blurb on it. So I don't know if that means they're 13 out of 15 or if they're just on the list. I don't know if it's in order or whatever, but they did make the list, so that is kind of cool. So back to Velocia. I wanted to give everyone an example of how blockchain technologies can fix real-world problems. Not all problems, but some problems. Us miners, oftentimes we aren't really in tune with what actual implementations of the tech is or are. So I thought this would be kind of useful, to kind of highlight something that you can actually support with your hash power and see it actually, being implemented. So I think that is kind of cool and useful. Velocia is an open app on the network using the Open Economy Open Kit. I did a video on the OAN whenever they first transitioned from AION to the OAN, explaining several of the different open kits and capabilities that are on there, and Open Economy is one of those kits that Velocia has used to create an app that goes on top of or uses the OAN. So really cool stuff. Velocia has partnered with public transport businesses in the down in the Miami area. It looks like they're involved with City Bike, Miami, Bolt, Get Around, and some other Miami-Dade counties or county transportation. And they are actually expanding. Basically, users can earn the VELO token for utilizing public transportation. So it's kind of neat the way that this works. I think, despite what you think of pollution and global warming and how our transportation habits play into all that, there's no doubting cities are getting denser and more congested. I think that's something we can all agree on pretty easily. Much of this congestion is caused by vehicles with only the driver inside, so they're single occupancy vehicles. I'm guilty of this myself. I drive back and forth to work, by myself in the car. I don't carpool. I want my comfort and privacy in my own vehicle. These facts also affect parking in a very negative way as well. If everybody's driving their very own car or vehicle, then you can see how parking would be a problem, or could be a problem. But right now, the way it stands, there's just very little incentive to, to give up these comforts, driving yourself and, having that little bit of privacy, I guess you could say, or whatever. But there's little benefit or incentive to change that habit. So I think that, you know, we have to kind of decide to do a little bit better, and this is where Velocia comes in. They're working with multiple transportation companies that run their services on the web. By working with multiple companies, not just a single service, like, you know, any type of ride sharing or scooters or bikes or cars or whatever. It's not just one service. They're working with a lot of different services. So because that eliminates getting pigeonholed or stovepiped into one platform. You know, if you are just a member of a bike sharing community, then you would have to use that bike to and from work, for example. You couldn't, you know, with this solution with Velocia, you could bike to work and Uber home one day and Uber to work and bike home the next, and still benefit from earning the VELO token on the Velocia platform. So if you head over to their website, velocia.io, they explain this pretty well, how this all works, and you can actually use the VELOS tokens for benefits. You know, you can actually use it for rewards or discounts on other services that are in the network, I guess. I don't know if they're working with you know, Uber or any of the large companies like that. I didn't see that on here that they're actually doing that. I don't know how that part of it would work, because right now this is only in the Miami-Dade area and the Miami-Dade County, which is Miami. I think it's Fort Lauderdale too, I think. So if you're not down there, then this isn't really going to apply to you, but you can just see how, you know, again, they're growing. So I would assume that in the not too distant future, you'll hear about this in other cities and things like that. So just keep all that stuff in mind. They do have the app on Google Play, and this is what it looks like. Don't download anyone that doesn't look like this. And then on the App Store for iPhone as well. And then the way it works, these apps actually connect to the other services. So you can see that right here, somewhere on here, it talks about that. Yeah. Connect, get started and earn rewards for connecting your mobility apps to Velocia. And then you're going to earn Velos as you move, whether you use public transport, car share, scooters, bikes, or even walk. The transit time gets rewarded with Velos. And then you can use those Velos for discounts on your next trip with Bolt, Get Around, Lyft, Miami-Dade Transit. So they are working with big companies here. Lyft, that's huge. So I would assume that Uber is probably, you know, if they aren't already, I would assume that they're coming as well. And Velocia has been, this is just straight from their website here. Velocia, or it might have been a Medium article, but they've been operating its beta program in the city of Miami for the past 2 months. It has onboarded over 2,000 users that have been earning millions of VELO across their mobility partner ecosystem that includes Get Around, Swift Seat, City Bike, Bolt Scooter, and Miami-Dade Transport, the public transportation. Their use base has walked 57,836 miles in the past 8 weeks. Probably more than that now, because I think that this was actually a little bit older of an article that I was pulling this information from. And that is a bit more than 2 times around the Earth, whether traveling the equator or over the poles. Taking the equivalent of 1,775 cars off the road, resulting in 23,184 kilograms of carbon emissions reduction. So again, I'm not, you know, Mr. Green or anything like that, but you can see, you know, I think that we should at least somewhat go in that direction, right? Try to be conservative, try not to pollute, you know, as much as possible. I'm one of those guys that, you know, I'll pick up trash off the ground as I'm walking down the street, right? So like, you know, I'm just that way. I'll clean up a little bit, you know. It's funny, but people have caught me doing it sometimes, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, Well, think about it. If everybody did what I'm doing right now, then this whole place would be friggin' clean. If everybody picked up just one thing, right? So anyway, little tangent there, but point being, you know, I'm not all about global warming and all that stuff. You know, I'm not even going to get into it, but just know that I think that we should move in that direction to protect the planet, all that stuff. But I'm not like over the top with it or anything like that. So anyway, so just wanted to bring all this up because, you know, this is an example of how blockchains can fix problems, or at least provide the opportunity to do so. And I thought it was important since it had to do with the OAN. So how does this actually benefit AION, you know, or the digital asset of the OAN? Well, any service, as we talked about before, that uses the OAN, you know, there are fees or transaction fees associated with using the services on the network. So any service that's using the OAN has to use the digital asset of that network, which is AION. So right off the bat, there's some transaction fees, I would assume, associated with the use of the platform. So as a whole, this is really good for the OAN and AION to get this use case out there and get the network being used in the way that they wanted it to be once they transitioned to the OAN from AION. So I think that is kind of cool. So that is pretty much it for that part of the whole thing. I did want to bring up that recently I was sent the, in the military, you would call it a command coin, but it is, I guess it says original hodler. It's hodler, but people say hodler all the time. Because if it's hold, you wouldn't say I hod, right? So anyway, hodler, AION original hodler coin. And then the really cool thing is that it was actually signed by Matt Spoke, which is the CEO of, I think that's what you would call him still, CEO of the OAN. And I actually did wipe this. I was kind of cleaning it up, and you can kind of see right there that I kind of smudged his autograph a little bit. I'm really sad about that. But yeah, so that was really cool. And that was actually from the AIONpool.tech guys, Yashnik and CryptoZ and ICU2. That's who sent the coin, just for being, you know, just for doing the videos and stuff that I've done and supporting the project. They also sent me some stickers, which I love. Stickers, new AION sticker, and Open Application Network sticker. I'm being funny about loving stickers. I don't love stickers, so. And then of course the business card and stuff, so that's cool. Cool stuff going on over there. I really appreciate it. Really honored to receive a gift like that. It's very cool. Hopefully it gets to Matt that I appreciate it a lot, that, you know, that he thought of that and actually signed it, even though I smeared it a little bit. But you know, that's how it goes. So if you like, yeah, and thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. That was really super cool. If you like content like this, be sure to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. And I really want to know, like, what do you guys think about Velocia's implementation of an open economy app on the OAN? Do you think this is a good use case for blockchain tech? You know, let's just keep the conversation going in the comments below. Let me know what you think, and take care, everybody. I will see y'all next time. Stay savage, everybody.